What? You mean email or login into it? How did it?
Let everybody get logged in. Welcome, everyone. We now have quorum, and we will begin the meeting of the Oklahoma City Arts Commission for September 15th, 2025. Before the commission votes on an item, we will ask staff to provide details of each case. I will ask if the applicant has anything to add, and I will ask if any members of the public wish to speak. If you do wish to address the Arts Commission, you will be recognized, and we'd like you to come up to the central podium, state your name and address for the record, and begin your comments. And we ask that you limit your comments to no more than 3 minutes. Our next item is to receive the meeting minutes from the August 22nd special meeting, and I'd like to ask for a motion and a second, please. Okay, we have a motion and a second, so everybody can go ahead and vote on PrimeGov. And the motion passes. Okay, the next item is 3A, 66 Kicks by Cameron Eagle. And Randy, would you like to present the item, please?
Yes, I would like to do that. I'm Randy Marks, Program Planner in Arts and Cultural Affairs. We'll introduce the location here, but I'll talk first. 66 Kicks is the design proposal by Cameron Eagle for the Maps 4 beautification project for Route 66. So looking at the location here, you can see right there at the bottom of the screen where you see a little 66. That's Interstate 44, but it's historic Route 66. And it still has a designation as historic 66. Back in the 1950s, and you're going to hear a little bit more about this directly from Pat Fitzgerald in just a little bit, but this location for at that time, the Cowboy Hall of Fame and Western Heritage Center, now the Cowboy Museum. This was specifically chosen because it was on Route 66. It's not the original route of Route 66, but starting, I believe, in 1954, this became the route. It's the route that I literally grew up with and knew of as Route 66. Maps 4 has a large number of beautification projects, one of which was designated for Route 66. Some others address various gateways to the city and various other sites around the city. But very specifically, they wanted Route 66 to have a project of its own. And because there was a lot of call within the city for this to be not just a beautification project that would involve landscaping, but something very artful, MAPS decided to assign the project to Arts and Cultural Affairs and let us handle it. So I'm the project manager on the project, along with Joe Hudson, who couldn't be here this afternoon. Joe Hudson is a planner in planning, but he also works very, very directly with MAPS on all of the beautification projects. So this had an art award of $875,000. And here you see Kick 66 envisioned for this particular location just to the east of the building, and east and down the slope from the Cowboy Museum. Another view from the highway, and then up close. This is a 35-foot boot. That's the size of the boot itself. Sits up on approximately a 5-foot mound. And so it's going to be an imposing presence. And I've driven this east and west on 44, looking down and imagining it there. You have long sight lines looking towards it. It's going to be something that's going to cause people to say, wait, look at that. What is that? And if they haven't If they can't make the next exit, they'll go to the next one after that and turn around and come back and take a look at it. It is constructed of eighth inch aluminum, which is a very thick gauge, painted with high-quality paint that should last 15 years. What you're seeing there in the stitching is not neon. Some people have described it as neon. It's not. It mimics neon. That's actually a high-strength acrylic that is pressed through the surface of the aluminum. And then the interior of the boot is going to be lighted, pushing the light out through that stitching. Okay, you've heard a lot of this story before, just a few weeks ago. But what's happened in the meantime, of course, was that right after that meeting, very soon after the last commission meeting, Pat Fitzgerald got on the phone to Mayor Holt and said, we want to hold up our hand as a possible location for this fantastic work. And the next day, the mayor sent an email to Bailey Cyber and me and basically said, get with Pat and his staff and see what they're proposing and basically see what you can make happen. So we've been in several discussions with the staff at Cowboy, and we also last Monday night had a meeting with their staff at the museum and members of the neighborhood association, the Persimmon Hill Neighborhood Association, which is directly to the north. So the north part, the upper part of this slide that you're looking at, just north of Northeast 63rd is the Persimmon Hill Neighborhood Association. Had a really good meeting with them, had a great turnout, very good discussion. And you'll hear from one of their representatives in just a little bit. And we'll look at it. There's just another view and then a nighttime view also. So most of the light will come directly from the stitching. You can also see that there is some ground lighting. That is, it's low-level lighting just meant to light up the sculpture itself. It's not lighting up the area. Cameron Eagle, the artist, did a number of lighting studies to show that the light of the boot itself, what is being emanated from the sculpture and from the site itself at nighttime, just doesn't add very much to the ambient lighting that is already out there. I'll go back to that. I'll go back to that slide again, showing the highway. Well, we'll go to this next one. You can see to the right, you can see that 100+ foot pole that is shining a lot of light out into this area. So the sculpture is going to be light enough to be seen very well, but it's not going to be a disturbance that is going to have any effect basically outside of just the area where it is sitting. So that concludes what I have to say about this, although I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have about what we're doing, what the process was, all of that. And then I know that there are various people who would like to speak to this.
Do the commissioners have any questions? Commissioner Cooper?
I think I read in the proposal that there is going to be AstroTurf surrounding it so that it will be green year-round. What are the dimensions and exactly where is the AstroTurf going to be? And as a companion question, this area, who will be mowing the rest of the grass in this area to maintain it in a tidy
Very good questions.
fashion?
Very good questions, and thank you for asking that. So it gives me the chance to say that this is not the absolute final design. So this is what you're going to see here. This is the basic part of the design. This is going to be set down within some kind of perimeter that will be artificial turf. And the Cowboy Museum will be responsible for day-to-day maintenance of the artwork, and also they will continue to mow the entire site just as they normally do. There won't be any, outside of whatever the perimeter is, probably defined by a walkway. There will be artificial turf inside and then grass on the outside. Within that walkway, there won't be anything that needs to be mowed. Maintenance is going to be mostly just, picking up trash or something like that. So it's a very, very low maintenance project. As we know, nothing is no maintenance, but it's a low maintenance project. At the time that it needs to be repainted, or if something should happen, if some strange thing happens and a car goes wild and runs into it and it needs to be reconstructed, there is a MAPS fund already set aside, a trust fund set aside that can be used. Those funds can be used on this or any other MAPS project in order to restore it. It isn't something where we have to go out and search for the money. It's already there sitting in a trust fund for those things that come up in the future. Was there another part to your question, Commissioner?
No, but I think you answered my questions, but one of the benefits that I have seen of this site is that it is in close proximity to a parking lot that is maintained by the Cowboy for its activities. I am assuming, but Mr. Fitzgerald can probably answer this question, whether or not they are planned to make that parking available to people who are captivated by this and decide to zoom around and come take a look at it, which would be safer than parking along the right-of-way on 63rd Street.
Yes, you probably won't actually be able to access it unless you come into the parking lot. That's the plan. It's going to be controlled access. Parking lot will be available for those that want to come and see this. And part of the design that will be developed is a walkway or walkways and a bridge or bridges over the creek. You can see directly below the parking lot, you can see a line. That's a very small creek. So there will be, again, a bridge or bridges over the creek and then walkways leading to the actual sculpture. And probably the sculpture site is going to move a little bit to where that tree grove is right now. Those trees are not in great shape. They're, some of them are native trees, but they're not especially healthy. It would be better to remove those trees. It may be a far better site for the sculpture itself for a number of different reasons. So there's going to be some change, but you're still going to see a boot, a very, very large boot with that design, a very large boot sitting on a 5-foot mound. We expect those elements to be in whatever the final iteration of the design is.
And a new complementary landscape plan.
Well, a landscape plan within the confines of what Cameron is going to be designing. Now, there may be opportunities later on down the line for there to be a larger landscape plan for the entire area. That's something for future discussions. It's not covered by the cost of this project.
Thank you.
Commissioner Center, did you have a question?
No, that was answered.
Oh.
Thank you. It was the trees.
I had one question about the fencing around there. So I understand the height of the boot. How tall is that fencing?
It is, I believe it's 6 foot, the chain link fence along the highway, I believe that's 6 feet tall. I don't know that for sure.
It's 6 foot fence.
Okay, 6 foot.
And it has to be there?
Yes, so I just put that fence up. It's a brand new fence.
It does really good at collecting trash, and I hate that. But
Well, you won't see a lot of trash there because we take care of it, but I'll explain that too. I absolutely agree with you, so.
Any other questions from the commissioners?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
How do you change the light bulbs?
There'll be an access door that you don't see, but you can actually crawl inside the boot. Two full-grown human beings can fit inside there at the same time.
Cool.
So all of those will be fully accessible inside the boot.
Great, thank you.
Okay. So, are there
Another
any-
question.
Oh, okay. Commissioner Cooper?
I'm looking at this picture, and I, of course, have several things going through my mind, one of which is that area on 63rd ever going to get a sidewalk down it? But you don't really want them to access it from there. So if they're accessing the sculpture, because people are going to want to park, get out of their vehicles, they're going to walk to the boot, and they're going to take a picture of the area and themselves with the boat in the background. Is there going to be some type of either paved walkway or stepping stones or something? Because pretty soon, with enough traffic, there's going to be a dirt path. If there isn't, there'll be a dirt path that leads to the parking lot. And that isn't going to look attractive.
No, there will be at least one and possibly two pathways that will be paved from the parking lot, over bridges over the creek, directly to the site of the sculpture. Right.
Okay. So do we have any comments from the public? I know we do.
So we may start off with Pat.
Sure.
Hi, my name is Pat Fitzgerald, and I'm the president and CEO of the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum. So thank you for having us today. I just wanted you to know that we are hopeful that this will get approved because we think this fits perfectly with us and our mission. The board is also behind this. Obviously, our staff is behind this, or we wouldn't be here. I did reach out to Mayor Holt when I heard about this, and because of our history and our heritage. You heard Randy talk about it for a moment. We had 17 governors, which is really crazy nowadays, to have 17 people think and agree upon a place. There were 3 places that they wanted to put a cowboy museum. And the reason it was chosen to be here at this spot was because of Route 66, because we're right on it. Again, it took 10 years for it to get built because it didn't open until 65, but that was why in 54. We do believe that this art piece by Cameron is fantastic. We think it does exude fun as well as the authenticity of what a cowboy is. There's 2 main things that a cowboy will wear, and that's boots and hat. We think that fits really great with us in the museum being here. The other thing, your questions were perfect. We do plan on maintaining this as well as securing this. We have 24/7 security with cameras. We'll have cameras out here. We'll make sure all that stuff is there. We probably will going to need to, this parking lot will be open until we decide to be closed. It will not be open overnight. We don't want this to be a place where that could be occurring. So there will be hours for this to be open. But that parking lot is where they'll park, as well as bridges and places to get there. The trash pickup, Commissioner, absolutely. Our job is to make sure that we beautify this. We just spent $2 million beautifying the outside of the museum with landscaping, as well as another $3 million in a new parking lot. So everything out here, we spent a lot of money to make sure this place is looking better, and we have roughly $22 million in spending right now inside and outside of the museum going on, with $25 million that we've raised, and our goal is 40. So we have a lot more to do, but we do believe this fits perfectly. We had nothing planned for this weird kind of corner section, so I thought this was a perfect space for this phenomenal art piece.
Great.
So.
Other questions for, sir, go ahead.
Not actually a question. As much as I said I didn't like where it was going before, I really like where it's going now. It's gorgeous there.
Thank you, we do too. Thank you.
Great. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And I don't have a list of names, so there was somebody that wanted to speak from the neighborhood?
Hey, good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Braden Heisey. I am the Vice President for Persimmon Hills Neighborhood Association, which is the neighborhood north of 63rd. We had some concerns going into this, but by and large, we had a meeting in September 8th with Randy Marks, Cameron Eagle, the artist, and the Cowboy leadership, and they pretty much assuaged our concerns. I will state that we had a couple of neighbors that they just don't like this for whatever reason. But that said, I do want to get on the record some of our concerns, which you've already heard them with resolutions that have been offered. The first thing is that this is an attractive nuisance, okay? It's going to draw people in, which is what we want the art to do. And we were concerned about an all hours thing, a gathering spot during the wee hours of the night that we didn't really want to have around our neighborhood. but with the controlled access monitored by the Cowboy, that assuages that. The other thing, which is larger along that street in 63rd between MLK on this side, and which is to the east of the Cowboy, and Kelly Avenue to the west, we're fortunate that we have several businesses that are going in. We have an on-queue at the corner of Kelly and 63rd to the boot over here at 63rd and MLK. And in between there, we've got several restaurants that are going in or have been established there, such as Carletti's, which is a new Italian restaurant, not yet open, and Hank's, which is doing phenomenal business there with all kinds of crowded parking lot. The request that I have to you, and this is probably not the right venue, is that we need a traffic study to study the impact between Kelly and MLK along 63rd. Because I need somebody smarter than me that does this for a living to look at how we're going to manage the different traffic pattern that's going to result from all of these new constructions there and these attractions. We are concerned about trash, but as you heard Mr. Fitzgerald say that they will be monitoring that. And in general, it's just, nature of the business. You have more people come in, and trash is just one of the things that happens. We are concerned about maintenance and repair. We don't want the boot to fall into disrepair and make it an eyesore for the neighborhood. We don't want burned out lighting, and we don't want the red boot to fade to a pink boot in the Oklahoma sun. But Mr. Marks told us last week that there's a special kind of paint that's going on this, and that will counter the UV. And as I understand it, there is a maintenance schedule to keep this boot looking nice, this monument looking nice. We are concerned about light pollution. Given the boot's location, I was a little worried initially that it was going to be a big, bright, shining beacon above the neighborhood, but it's a 35-foot tall boot on a 5-foot-ish or so pedestal, and if it doesn't go up any higher than that, then the light pollution is not an issue, especially given the north-south orientation, which puts the skinny part of the boot towards the neighborhood. And with that in mind, do you have any questions for me? Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Center?
Well, you did mention that there are still some neighbors that are opposed. I guess my concern would be, well, maybe with the security, we won't have to worry about it being damaged or anything by neighbors that are dissatisfied.
No, I don't think that's the character of our neighborhood, and these are neighbors who have been there for 40 years or so, and so it's just a question of change, and they don't like the change.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Question.
Randy, did you have any? Oh, I'm sorry. Commissioner Eichmann?
Yeah, just one question, and this really is probably directed towards staff, which is the concern about the traffic study. Is that something that you can pass along to the proper department as a request, or is there a formal process for him to do that?
The request for a traffic study, yes, we'll be sure to pass that along to that would be the proper person in Public Works. I'm not sure if that's Stuart Chai, but yes, we'll pass that along. Thank you.
Okay. So would we like to do a motion in a second?
I think there's somebody else that
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, if you'd like to come up.
Perspective. Hi, my name's Dawn Shelton, and I'm from Luther, Oklahoma, where I was project manager for our Luther, Oklahoma Route 66 sign, designed by Cameron Eagle, and that was erected earlier this year. And we are still wonderful friends through the project management experience. And when this new opportunity came up for the new home for this sign, we've all had those moments when a challenge with the solution to a challenge sparks magic. And I'm so happy about this for Oklahoma City, for the Cowboy Hall of Fame, for Luther, Oklahoma, and all of your neighbors on Route 66. I passed our sign on Route 66, came, and I could just see it when I came around that corner today. And I saw two men crawl into our sign as it was being built. It was fine, and maintenance has been fine. And we didn't have a $22 million extra investment in our public-private partnership, but we have. And so I just want to congratulate you on the solution, because it seems lovely, and whether it's a goal or not, but it is, because we're Oklahomans, this project will help your neighbors and will help Luther, which is our whole reason for the sign. It's the only thing we've got going, besides, a few other things. And I'm just seeing the future Cameron Eagle art tour across America, and so that will connect us that way. So good luck and thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? Commissioners?
I think, Debbie, yeah, I just really would like to echo that last statement about congratulating everybody on this solution. It's absolutely fabulous. And, at our meeting a few weeks ago, I think we were in such a dilemma that we all liked the piece. We just didn't like its siding. And this is such an exciting opportunity to really do the right thing. And I just want to thank everybody so much for rolling up your sleeves and helping come with a great opportunity for Oklahoma City and Luther.
Okay.
As they say, good things come to those who wait. And a great thing in the wrong place is not a great thing. So a great thing in the right place is a wonderful thing. And I think maybe that this is it's the right thing in the right place.
Okay. Any other comments? All right. If we could get a motion and a second. Recommendation could be to recommend it to the City Council for a Public Art Commission agreement. So, all right. We have a motion and a second, so if you all would like to vote. And the vote passes. Yay. Thank you very much for everybody. Next would be our consent docket, and we do not have any items on the consent docket for today. And our commission advocate is not here today either, so we will move on to an arts and cultural affairs update. Randy, did you have one? We're losing our quorum though, so.
Can we don't have any more votes. Can we continue with the meeting?
Okay.
Can you wait 3 minutes? Go. Okay. We'll do this real quick, and while I'm going through the slides, I'll just say two things. Should have said earlier. Commissioner Salyer was with us in the initial meeting with Cowboy. Thank you so much, Commissioner. It was great to have you there. Also, be sure and drive out and see the work that Cameron did in Luther. It's worth the drive. I did it the other night. It's fantastic. This is Bolt Tower at the fairgrounds. Long-awaited Bolt Tower. This is the morning shot. Uh-oh. What happened? Oh, here we go. Color changes at night. Be sure and go to the fair and take a look. 72-foot tall tower that starts replacing those magical things that we all lost, like the Space Needle and various other things. So that concludes the report.
Okay. And since we're losing our quorum, I'm going to say we're adjourned. And thank you all very much. Oh, our next meeting is October 20th, right here at 4 o'clock. See you then.